expertise to her.
Right, no worries.
So, yeah,
Okay, so we're recording now.
Very good, very good. I won't tell that. I won't start by telling that story about Steve Ferriss from the flooring room then.
Yes, we won't tell anyone that you had a couple of beers for lunch either. Anyway, everyone that's listening to us, hello, and thank you so much for joining. If you listen later today, so I hope it's going to be quick and fast and enjoyable for you. But anyway, yay, it's Friday. So guys, today we've got Steve Ferriss from the flooring room in Tauranga, and we're really looking forward to talk to Steve and just find out how's things and all of that. So, and of course we've got Tony Snow with us as usual, 2 p.m. on Friday, reporting on deck. Thank you, Tony. And I'm just going to jump right into it. And Steve, how are you? And tell us, first of all, about your business. What do you do?
Oh, g'day, Valerie. Yeah, thanks. Thanks very much. Hi, everyone. So I'm Steve from the flooring room in Tauranga. My background, I've been on flooring most of my life, and working for various companies, but more sort of corporate. And I used to do a lot of travel. But then a few years ago, coming up 5 years ago, my first daughter was born. I've since had 2 more, so 3 girls now. And that changed a whole lot of priorities, and I didn't want to do so much travel. So I started to really consider options and thought I'll take the leap, start my own business. And that's when the flooring room was born 4 years ago now. So yeah, we sell carpet, hard flooring, vinyl tiles, everything you can think of really that goes on the floor, in commercial and residential. And we've built up a good sized team now. And about a year ago, we formed a new business in Palmerston North with a business partner down there, guy by the name of Richard. And then more recently, we're just in the process of starting one in Nelson as well. So the goal's not about getting huge, but it's where there's a local ownership stake in each of those towns, and we call it the Good Buggers Club, where it's people we enjoy working with, have fun, and hopefully have a good lifestyle out of it as well. So yeah.
That's awesome. Sounds like you've been very busy in the last few years. And of course, we've all been blessed with COVID-19 in recent times. So I guess we've started this just to hear out what the business owners were feeling, thinking during COVID-19. And so hence my next question, how was, let's say, first couple of weeks of lockdown for you, and then how did you progress in your thought, and what did you do during this time, basically, as a business owner?
Yeah, no, thanks, Valerie. It was, even just thinking about my headspace back then, probably like a lot of business owners, it was pretty easy to go to a reasonably dark place pretty quickly. Yeah. We had just signed a lease on this Nelson building, which was a large site, an expensive lease, and we hadn't quite started the business, and then COVID came along. So we're going, what are we doing? Do we pull the pin? Do we downsize? And so we went through all that process, a lot of work during that lockdown period. But then during that time, I guess we started to realise maybe the world wasn't going to end, we were going to get out of this, and there's going to be some sort of new normal, and we would just have to make it work. So we did look at downscaling some options. Since then, we haven't needed to, thankfully. So we, during that lockdown period, we worked on the business, probably like a lot of businesses actually. From an IT perspective, stuff that Tony does, as an example, we've sort of moved reasonably paperless. So we used to, we've still got a lot of paper in our organisation, but it's a fraction of what it used to be. We did a lot of online training for our people during that time. So there's a lot of Zoom calls, like most of New Zealand. And we just slowly started improving process and sort of working on strategy. So, a lot of sort of think tanks around, for example, we do a lot of commercial work, the big stuff. And what type of clients do we want to work with? What type of projects do we want to work with? Rather than stressing ourselves out for not much reward, is there a better way to do life? So yeah, it gave us a really good period of forced meditation, insight,
analysis, planning, So
no, that was don't get me wrong, it was still rough during that period. But then we've come out of it and we marketed quite hard with some quite heavy discounts, and things have been really, really busy since. So, I guess the positive side of things is that we've come out of this, we've since hired one new person. The Nelson store is going ahead and opens next week. And business is busy, struggling to keep up right now. So that's a really, I'm so grateful for that compared to a whole lot of other industries out there. It feels like home improvement have been a part of the economy, which maybe people have looked more inward. They might not be doing enough travel, and I feel for all those other businesses that are affected directly by that. But people in home improvement might be, like ourselves, might be a little bit fortunate. And then at the same time, I guess we're just still taking a semi-cautious approach because we don't know what's around the corner. We've just got to do things better. Every person we've got to look after better. We've got to. We're renovating our showroom right now because we thought it was going to be quiet and be a good time to do it. And we've got to be better with our systems, better with our customer service. Have better people. Just everything must be better. And I think it feels like talking to other businesses out there that other businesses are maybe saying something similar. You sort of reinvent yourself a little bit. We've been a little bit complacent. So
Yeah, I quite agree. So we had obviously a few weeks of communications like that, and people just realized that they had this time and space to just sit down and talk and work on the business and redirect and analyze all the what we do good, what we do not so good, how can we move forward in a more of a planned direction rather than just hectically running through each day and just being caught in this, never ending. So that's awesome. So if you were to have a crystal ball, what do you think is going to happen to economy and say your business in the next 6 months?
It feels like talking to people that are much earlier in the cycle, for example, architects or planners, it feels like they've had some cancellations. So, in 6 months, and people listening might have a far better opinion than that, but in 6 months or so, it feels like we might have a little bit of a dip. It might 3 to 6 months, we might have a bit of a dip. And that's where we've just got to work harder on the people we look after. I think we're, there's some bigger national chains which are not owned locally. And I think there's been a real move to support businesses like ours, which I'm just so grateful for, where people are going, what are some good humans, locally that live in Tauranga that we can support and look after versus a big Australian-owned corporate chain that's throughout the country and throughout Australia, and the money goes offshore. So as long as, we look after them better, we're competitive, all those other boxes are ticked, I'd like to think we can still hold our own in a smaller market and just grab a bigger bite of that pie. That's my goal personally. We just got to do things better. But I guess you asked about the wider economy, and I'm probably feeling pretty optimistic right now that I would like to think that things will be better than initially thought by the economists. Fingers crossed.
Steve, I'm interested. Obviously, we talk about spending time on the business versus in the business, and over the lockdown, there was that opportunity to spend the time on the business. With your staff, and remind me how many staff you've got across the 2.5 stores. I'll call half a store because you haven't opened yet.
So we've got 17 in Tauranga, 8 in Palmy, and 3 in Nelson. So
right,
growing.
So a good amount of stuff. So over that time, I've also talking to a lot of business owners and people around the country around working on their personal lives rather than in it. So did you change in terms of or notice something different? Did you get out on the bike more? Did you start running? I know you're a fit looking guy, good haircut, but did you do some reflection on your personal life in terms of, okay, what do you want to get out of the business? Has your strategy changed in terms of, are we expanding? Do I sell it? Do I retrench? You know,
It's look, that's a really relevant question, and you know, during that lockdown time, I felt like I was working very hard in my little bedroom, converted office, but it was still pretty nice to be able to get out on a bike with the kids, and you know, I love the lack of traffic on the roads, and the amount of time, even if I was doing a full day, I could nip out for lunch and do that type of stuff, and probably it's pretty easy to get back on that treadmill, you know, as Valerie said. But yeah, no, good point, Tony. That I guess I've still got some stronger goals about, you know, cutting down some hours or taking the half day here and there. I could be a lot more structured with it. You know, it's pretty easy to fall back into the old ways, if I'm being honest. I'd love to say that I was doing things better than that, but you know, I love work. So don't get me wrong, I love my family too, but I try and do both pretty hard, I guess. And yeah, that's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and I guess from the business perspective, going moving forward, you definitely see an optimistic point of view. And I'm not sure if I'm still there.
Yeah,
Valerie, you just oh no, sorry, Valerie, you just kind of sorry, I thought
I'm alive.
you thought you'd frozen. That's okay. So, and I guess, you know, have you had any reflection, Steve, about why you do what you do, or has it improved? Has it got better? Has it you know, you want to do more, or is it kind of waned a bit, you know, as you kind of work on the business, or is it?
That's a good point, actually. I think I probably came back pretty reinvigorated. I've come back with more energy. You know, we're doing the showroom renovation. This is the stuff we've been talking about. And now I'm saying we just got to get stuff done. Let's just get it done. You know, yeah, because previously we would talk about stuff and we're busy in the day-to-day and not necessarily work on the things that take the business forward. And more recently, I feel like we're making some big steps. And it might have been during that lockdown time, you know, we got so much time to think about it that we were then ready to act. And maybe it's the same with people's own houses. I think, you know, potentially that's why the carpet guys right now are busy, because people were sitting at home going, we've been planning this for ages, let's just do it. And that's what we like with our business. So, but, you know, the relevance there, Tony, to what you said about the home life, I'm not slowing down business-wise, but I need to still, you know, make sure why I'm in business, and it's to have a bit of that lifestyle as well, and love it. So yeah, that's still a work in progress, though, being honest.
Yep. No, that's cool. And you kind of alluded to why. My next question was going to be around why do you think, you know, out of lockdown you've been so busy? Was it the marketing that you did? Was it the people that have spent 5 weeks in the house looking at the floor, going, "Oh my God, this is crap! I need a new floor," or is it just the stuff that was already in the pipeline coming to fruition?
I think talking to all the home improvement guys, I think they're all pretty busy right now. So I think there's definitely an element of that. I think there's definitely a big element of that sitting at home going, let's get some stuff done. And I mean, you know, myself and my wife have been talking about stuff to do in the backyard, and now I just want to get it done as well. So, you know, I hope that continues, and yeah, it's not just a one-off wave. And there's a you know, the post-COVID honeymoon. I think someone coined the phrase, which I quite like. We might be going through a honeymoon, and it might just dip a little bit, but it certainly doesn't feel like it's going to be that dramatic shelf. You know, it might just settle down, and that's okay.
Yeah,
you know, we can manage that.
Yeah,
that's good. Yep. How you go, Tony?
No, I was just going to say that you're feeling quite optimistic in terms of where the economy is going to bounce back, and you're doing, you know, some wonderful expansion plans that you're following up with. So what I guess what next after Nelson? Or are you just looking at worrying about that first?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's another conversation going on at the moment. So the goal with the Flooring Room Group was always about local owners, local partners, you know, that local thing. Yeah.
Yep.
The name of this meeting.
That's what we do.
And I'm the local guy in Tauranga. But the idea for us to have some local good buggers that we can leverage off each other and pick up the phone and come across a really fairly one. And we've got hundreds of years of experience in flooring between us. Is pretty cool. So, but the end goal is not to have tens and tens of stores. It's to have 4 or 5 guys that we can go away for a weekend together and strategize on the business and be better as a group. So, so yeah, there's definitely a cut-off point there. Expansion for expansion's sake. It's to get some economies of scale, get a group of people we can leverage off and combine ideas, because otherwise it can be lonely. Business can be lonely. Groups like us are fantastic. The networking, and I fully support it. But there's something to be said about where you've got your own industry knowledge as well. So what are the I guess the 3 tips that you'd like to give business owners if you could right now, for the next 3 months? That's kind of a very leading question coming from that conversation. Yeah. So look, that is again, I'm in a fortunate industry right now. If you're in some other industries, I feel for those guys. But the thing I'm talking to my team about, and my team is discussing, and they're coming up with ideas, is that we just need to be better. We just got to do better than we've done, because we've been a little bit complacent in Tauranga, which has been a boom market for a long time, and we got to just look after every customer better, do our installs better. Another little innovation we did recently was we offer a lifetime warranty on all of our installations. Wow. So, and it's because I put my face out there, I put my name to the business. If something goes wrong, no matter when it is, I'm always going to fix it. So why don't we talk about it? And so we're starting to do that stuff as well. We want to always do the right thing by people, because in a community where locals are supporting locals, doing the right thing by people gets remembered and referred. So, we want to just make sure it's not just something we say, but we do, and we live and we breathe in all parts of the business, because we won't always get it right. But make sure.
Well, that's really cool, and I think we'll come away with one message. And thank you, Steve. I think what you're saying really there is, let's just all buy local, shop local, talk to locals, and I think we will come away from all of this if we just really put our thought into where we spend money, how we spend money, and how we become more efficient, and how we become more better. As you say, I do feel we need to kind of really just explain what better is, but as you say, be more efficient, higher quality, better communication, higher craftsmanship, which will be very relevant to you. And so if we want to just wrap it all up and just say message to everyone, just please buy local and shop local. But maybe final message from Tony and final message from Steve, and we'll sign out. Tony.
Oh, thanks, Valerie. Look, I think I'm going to write this back to Steve. Is kind of look at the flaws in your business and try to improve them. See what I did there? And be more efficient. Really take stock. But for me as a business owner operator, is looking at your personal life. How is that and your family relating to what the business should be? A mechanism and a vehicle to provide what you want personally. And if it's not doing what you're doing, why is that? Really focus on what the business is doing and look at those flaws, pun no pun, and improve the way you're doing things.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, cool. That's a really good message, Tony. I love that, and I've got to live some of that myself better, because it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day. I guess my message would be, hang tough. Things always work out all right. I guess I'm feeling pretty eternally optimistic, and I am feeling really energized right now. And I hope everyone else is experiencing something similar, based on how we've New Zealand's done coming out of this. But and thanks, and groups like us, what a great initiative. This is another little initiative that's out there, and there's lots of this type of stuff going on. And I just want to thank both of you guys for pulling it all together. And for the
thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. Well, Bye to everyone. Thank you very much, Steve and Tony. And we'll see you on Wednesday at 3 p.m. again, next Wednesday. Bye, guys.
Thanks.